Hey friends, it's your favorite realtor, Matt Warbett from Keller Williams Hudson Valley Realty. In this market, if you have been trying to buy a house and you keep getting outbid and losing, you might want to stick around for the rest of this video. I'm going to share 4 tips that you can use to get your offer accepted and win in a multiple bidding situation. Stick around. So I want to talk about how to win in a multiple offer situation. Now, this is something that's going on nationwide. It's not just here in the New York metropolitan area. We've got a shortage of inventory all across the country. There's buyers everywhere, and you've got multiple offer situations everywhere. So if you're looking for a couple of tips to make your offer and your bid look better and hopefully win, let's go over those right now, okay? So the first one is you should have a local team. And what I mean by that is a local attorney and a local lender. Now, not every state in the country requires you to have an attorney. New York is one of them, but when you are submitting your offer and the listing agent sees that you're coming in with a local lender who knows the marketplace, a local attorney that perhaps they've even done business with before, it will elevate your offer because the listing agent will be able to tell their clients, the sellers, that they know the team that these buyers are coming in with, and that they know that things are going to run smoothly, and they know that they understand how the local market and the local business practices, how everything works. So it can really be a big advantage to you, especially if you're coming from outside of the market, to engage and hire local attorneys, title companies, and mortgage lenders. The second tip is really to make a strong offer. Your first offer, make it really strong up front. A year, 18 months ago, you used to be able to go in and offer to purchase a house and come in below asking price. That's not really the case anymore in many markets across the country. So houses are being sold at, or even in a lot of cases, above the asking price. So don't think you're potentially going to be able to negotiate a lower price. You're going to want to come in with a strong offer and show the sellers that you're serious about the bid that you're making. Now, the offer is not just the money that you're offering to pay for the house, it's also the terms, which include the amount of money that you're going to put down into escrow. Are you putting down 10%? Can you do 20? Can you even do 30? What can you do to elevate yourself against the other offers that are being submitted? How much time do you want for closing? Are you willing to be flexible and work on the seller's timeline and not try to push either a faster closing or even a longer closing? But if you have that flexibility, that's also something that will give you an edge potentially above other bidders. Now, my third tip is a little tricky, but you're gonna wanna eliminate a sales contingency from your contract. Now, what does that mean? Well, if you're buying a house and you need to sell your other house, don't make your new purchase contingent on that sale. Why do you want to do that? Well, from the seller's point of view, if they have 2 identical offers in front of them and one person needs to sell a house to buy theirs, the other person doesn't, they're going to go with the person who doesn't need to sell. Because if they choose your offer and your sale falls through, well, then their sale is also going to fall through. And they don't want to be held to that type of situation that's out of their control. So if you can eliminate that sales contingency and be comfortable with that, that will also elevate your offer. Now, if you have to have a sales contingency in the contract, and sometimes it is unavoidable, just having your house on the market is not good enough. You need to make sure that you have your house in contract and that everything is moving along. You want to show the seller that the house sale is happening, here's where you are in the process, here's when it's going to close, and then you'll be able to buy theirs. So making sure you're taking care of those details is pretty important, and it can change whether or not your offer gets accepted. Now, the fourth and final tip for this is the use of an escalation clause. Now, some of you might be saying, what is an escalation clause? Well, think about, let's use eBay as an example. If you've ever gone onto eBay and you see something you want to buy, maybe it's a camera or a piece of jewelry or furniture or whatever it is, very often you put in the maximum bid that you're willing to pay. All right, so the furniture is $100, but you're willing to pay $150. Well, eBay automatically will raise your bid against everyone else's until you reach, until you're at the top, beating everyone else's offer, or you reach your maximum amount that you're willing to pay, at which point someone else could still come in and win. So it's kind of a similar thing for real estate. So an escalation clause, you're basically saying, hey, I want to buy your house. I'm willing to pay $500,000 right now, but I'm willing to go up in increments of $2,500 above anyone else's offer up until a maximum of $525,000. That's just a hypothetical example. So what that does is it automatically keeps pushing your offer above everyone else's. And one of the things that you want to be careful for is to make sure that there's a clause in your escalation clause that essentially says, hey, I need to see proof of these other offers. I'm not just going to take the seller's word for it. So you want to see actual proof. You want to know it's legitimate so that they don't just come back and say, oh yeah, great, well, we'll give you the house for $525. No. Got to be proof, and it's got to be solid. But that's essentially what an escalation clause is. So that's really it. So those are the 4 tips. Remember, have a local team. Give your strongest and best offer up front. Don't have a sales contingency, and use an escalation clause. Those are my 4 tips for winning a house in today's crazy marketplace. I wish you all the best of luck if you're in another state and we're not working together. But feel free to call me anyway. My number is 917-834-0159. I'm happy to talk about different strategies with you or hook you up with somebody in your local market. So that's it. I hope you found this useful, and check in with you next time.